You have gone from dating each other, maybe even friends before that, to being married, to deciding to have kids. You have grown together a lot, but we don't ever fully know ourselves or our partners at any given point. If you feel like what you used to do to show that you love your partner just doesn't quite land as much as it used to, it doesn't quite hit as hard, not only do we change as people, we also change our love languages and how we like to be loved. Welcome to the Marriage and Motherhood Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Perda. As a marriage coach who's married with 3 kids, I know how much parenthood could change a marriage. If flirting, laughing, and having fun together feels like a thing of the past, then I'm here to teach you that marriage doesn't have to feel so hard with your parents, and your marriage can thrive even when you're in the season of raising kids. Whether you're in a good place in your marriage and you just want to continue growing together, or you're wondering if you even like your spouse anymore, this podcast has something for you. Join me here each week as we dive into what it takes to help your marriage grow, and maybe even do a 180. You'll learn ways to handle conflict better, bring that spark back into your relationship, as well as learn how to improve other areas of your life from my lovely guest experts. Are you ready for the next stage of your life and marriage? Let's dive in. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Marriage and Motherhood Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about something that you may have noticed ever since having kids, ever since marriage has grown, right? Every year you're together, your relationship gets older. And a lot of times I hear my clients say they know their partner really well. And I don't disagree with them, right? You've spent a long time with them. You have gone from dating each other, maybe even friends before that, to being married, to deciding to have kids. You have grown together a lot. You've faced a lot of challenges together. You've made a lot of decisions together. And so you've got to know each other pretty well, emotionally, mentally, physically, but we don't always know our partner 100%. And I actually believe that we never fully know our partners. And if you turn things around and ask yourself if you fully know yourself, you'll start to kind of see where I'm coming from, right? We're still learning about ourselves. I'm 40. I still have so much to learn about myself, and other people can only know us as much as we know ourselves, right? Maybe they'll observe some things about us that we don't notice, but we don't ever fully know ourselves or our partners at any given point. Do we know them really well? Sure. And with that said, if we don't fully know our partners and we are growing over time through experiences, that means that we're also changing, which means that if you feel like what you used to do to show that you love your partner just doesn't quite land as much as it used to, it doesn't quite hit as hard, this is why. Not only do we change as people, we also change our love languages and how we like to be loved. For example, when you were first dating, maybe receiving extravagant gifts was a big thing for you. Maybe you really appreciate feeling like, wow, they just spent their hard-earned money to make me feel special, right? Those fancy restaurants, those elaborate gifts for your anniversary, for your birthday, for Christmas. And now, married with kids, those just don't seem to be as important anymore. Do you still like them? Sure. But there might be other things that you would prefer your partner do to show their love that have a larger impact than, say, getting a sitter, taking you to a fancy dinner, and gifting you extravagant gifts. All that to say, love languages are not fixed. They're not permanent. What you used to value and prefer changes over time. They shift with the seasons of life, with what's going on with your current lifestyle, with your current stress level, with parenthood. And so the primary love language that you had before kids might not be the same. You might still have the same love language, but maybe you want it expressed differently. Or maybe that love language has shifted down the ranks. Right now, maybe quality time is more important to you. Or maybe words of affirmation or acts of service is more important to you. Do you crave time alone with your spouse after the kids are in bed more so than you craving them helping you with bedtime or taking care of chores so you can do things, or expressing verbally their appreciation for you and how good of a mom you are and how lucky they are to have you as a life partner? All of these change. And it's important to understand where you're at right now, because if you understand how you want to be loved, it is going to be a lot easier for you to be loved because it takes a guessing game out of the mix, right? Your partner might be working off of old information. If we just assume, well, I knew these things made her happy when we first got together, I'm just going to rinse and repeat that. That is proven to be effective. But if it's not effective anymore, it's important for your partner to know this and for you to update them, right? Just like the apps on our phone constantly need to be updated, our marriage also needs to be updated. This is not like okay, we're writing this in stone. We can't deviate. This is what's going to work for the rest of our lives. No, because what worked for you before kids is going to change after kids. And then what works for you with kids likely will change once the kids leave the nest, right? When it's just back to you two. Why this is so important, why I am recording a whole entire episode about this, is because I want you to have the most opportunities for connection possible. And when we don't understand how we want to be loved in this current stage of life, and we're not sharing it with our partner, that's missed connection. So our partners are showing up for us in ways that aren't effective. And so they're putting in all this effort. You're not feeling loved, and it creates resentment on both sides, right? Maybe your husband's like, what gives? I'm doing all these things to show you how important you are to me. Meanwhile, you're like, I don't feel important. And that's the worst situation to be in, where he's putting in all this energy and effort into nurturing the marriage and it isn't landing. So it's wasted effort, right? And then what happens? You get disconnected emotionally, physically, even though you're both trying. And so then needs start to go unmet, resentment builds, connection weakens, and this all happens because there's no updating going on with what you each need from your marriage. So it's not that someone's ungrateful, it's that you're both changing. You're both growing. You're both adapting to how life is right now. So you got to bring your marriage along for the ride, keeping each other updated so that your marriage can continue to thrive even with the times, even with the seasons that you're in. And so the first step is to truly reconnect. Make sure you're creating opportunities to connect on a regular basis. This could be checking in regularly with each other, such as asking what feels most supportive to you right now. What's the best way I can support you right now? And normalize that these answers can change depending on how each person's doing, right? Because we have varying stress levels, varying workloads, varying seasons of life. Raising a baby is different than raising a school-age child versus raising a teenager versus sending a kid off to college. These all require different versions of us. And so normalizing this question of what feels most supportive to you right now, or even checking in, what do you need most from our marriage right now? This doesn't mean you don't know your partner. This doesn't mean that you're clueless about your marriage. This means, hey, I care so much about us that I want to make sure that I have my finger on the pulse. I know exactly what's happening. I know exactly what's needed. And I'm going to step up and rise to the occasion and give my marriage what it needs. I'm not going to assume, because I know that we are changing, we are growing, and I want to make sure our marriage stays strong and thrives as we adjust to each of these phases that we're going to experience. Even if it might feel strange at first, over time, it can start to feel routine. It doesn't have to feel like, oh, we're having that talk. Are we good? It doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't even have to have the tone of, are we good? It just is being proactive. Okay. This is what being proactive in your marriage looks like. And in addition to checking in regularly, I want you to also start reflecting on yourself. Notice what feels better to you these days. Because, like I said, what used to work for you might not have the same impact on you as it did before. So, notice, what makes me feel really close to my partner? Is it when they sit next to me and we're holding hands? Is it when they listen to me when I'm venting about something? Is it when they're planning something for me? Is it when they get me something when they're gone and it shows me that they remember me? Is it when they send me funny reels because it lets me know that they're thinking of me, that I'm always on their mind? They're always looking for ways to connect with me, even if it's silly, right? Knowing yourself is going to be a key component of this working. And of course, curiosity is a huge thing in marriage. Staying curious truly helps your marriage grow in so many areas, in communication, in the way that you express your love. Staying curious could look like, my partner says their primary love language is acts of service. I'm curious as to what I can do to experiment to see if it has the impact in demonstrating my love to my partner. So, for example, acts of service, right? It's like, oh, I noticed there's a basket of laundry there, and normally my partner folds it. I'm going to surprise him. I'm going to take care of that. And I'm just going to let them know, hey, I took care of the laundry. I saw that there was a basket of clothes and I folded it and put it away, and see how that lands, right? Or if your partner's like, oh, physical touch is my jam. Cool. Can you make an effort to give more hugs, give more points of physical touch, right? Like when you're walking by, touch the small of their back or touch their shoulders, hold their hand when you're riding in the car together, right? Even if it takes effort for you to do this and it doesn't come second nature because maybe you don't share the same love language, I want you to look at this as you nurturing your marriage. This is how you show your love in a way that's effective and efficient. We as parents, we know our time and our energy can be limited because we're being pulled in a lot of different directions. We've got ourselves to handle, we've got the household, we've got the kids, the school stuff, the sports, your job, your marriage, family, friends. There's so much. And so when we are striving to give our best to everything, we have to work smarter and not harder, right? And this is one way we can do that for our marriage, is making sure that the things that we're doing are actually paying off. And so getting curious, having those regular conversations to make sure that our efforts are actually having the impact that we want is going to go a long way. It's going to reduce the resentment, maybe even prevent it. It's going to bring you two closer because I know all you want is to feel loved and for your partner to feel loved. I know that you want your marriage to feel strong and secure. And this is how we do this, by having these conversations, these very real conversations about, hey, what are you needing right now? How can I be there for you, right? And so if you're feeling like your partner's efforts aren't landing the way they used to, or your own efforts aren't landing the way they used to, and you notice that the needs of both of you are changing because you're entering into different seasons of life because of parenting or because something else, and you're craving the connection, but you just don't know how to ask for it, or you don't know what to do to get it, and you catch yourself thinking, why doesn't he get it? I've told him this before. Why isn't he doing it? I don't understand. Try the things I shared in this episode. And if you want to take it a step further, I have a Marriage 360 review, kind of like in the work world, right? You've got the self-assessments and you've got the performance reviews. This is the marriage edition, right? This assessment is to help you uncover where your marriage is thriving and also where it needs attention so that you know where to focus and where it's going to have the biggest impact so that you can meet each other where you need to and start to show up for your marriage in the right ways and help your marriage thrive alongside you raising your kids, okay? It's normal for love languages to evolve, just like it's normal for us to evolve. Doesn't mean your marriage is broken, doesn't mean you're not compatible. This is just an invitation to grow together. It's an invitation to update your marriage manual and an invitation to continue doing so, okay? This is the work that it takes to have your marriage succeed, to have it be healthy, and to have it thrive. So go check out the Marriage 360 review. It's in the show notes. And of course, if you are needing support to guide you through this so that you can find your way back to your marriage, to help you reconnect, to improve how you guys are communicating and how you feel around each other, then reach out to me. I'd love to get to know you and share with you how coaching can help you. Marriage coaching has helped so many people. And if you think that that's the right next step, then book a clarity call with me. Let's talk. And that's all I have for you today. If you know someone that could benefit from listening to this episode, please share it with them. And if you love this show, please show your support by leaving a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I would so appreciate that. And that's what helps this show grow so that more people like you can learn about this show and get the support that they need. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll catch you back here on the next episode. That's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, please send me a message over on Instagram at Michelle Perta Coaching to let me know what you loved most about it. Hearing from my listeners is my absolute favorite. And if you've been loving this podcast, please leave a rating and review. This will help people like you find the show and get the help they need. Catch you here on the next episode. Bye.